Okay, you've heard mixed opinions on discrimination in after-school programs. Your son has ADHD and autism. He's been expelled from his after-school program called Alphabest, which is actually a clever name, which is on site at his school for behavior problems. They have stated that he is fine behaviorally when they are able to accommodate his need for one-to-one support, but they just can't do that. You're a teacher and a couple folks on your team feel this is a violation of IDEA or at the very least ADA. You're not sure. Please advise. Okay. And guys, I have such a common problem in the form of this aftercare. And I can tell you that, yes, it is discriminatory in every possible way, shape, or form. Now, whether or not it is a violation of the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, it's you know, that's where sort of the gray area is on whether this is purely an ADA sort of 504 issue or whether it also, you know, filters and trickles into IDEA. Now, you sit there and you go, well, you know, what's the difference? Well, the difference is that, yes, your child has an IEP, let's say, under IDEA, but that IEP has within it a whole bunch of 504 accommodations, including what your child is entitled to do and have equal access to with regards to their non-academic and extracurricular activities. Extracurricular would include anything after school. Non-academic would be anything outside of the instructional setting. So if your child is still on campus after school and there is a program being offered on school grounds, then at that point, if it receives state or federal money, which the school does, and it's putting this program on, then at that point, it becomes an equal access issue, all right? So even though your child has an IEP, those are components within the IEP that are more 504, okay? Now, let's say your IEP team says in order for your child to receive a FAPE, then, you know, we need to develop goals and services and accommodations, you know, for your child to achieve these goals, and we're going to use the Alphabest program in order to do that. Well, see, then it's sort of tied to the substance of your child's IEP program. But if it's not, then it's an accommodation. And at that point, yes, it's inside of your child's IEP because now your child has an IEP, not just a 504. So therefore, it's the IEP team that has to sit there and deal with the problem. And that is, hey, my child is being denied access to this after-school program because of his disability. Now, their excuse is, he does great as long as we have the resources. Well, the fact that you don't have the resources has nothing to do with your child or with my child requiring these services. My child is entitled to have after-school care just like everybody else. This after-school care is there in order to support parents that work. You are now inhibiting or discriminating against me through my child because now you are disenfranchising me. Now you're impacting my income. Now, because of loss of income, I have to sit there and care for my child. Either I have to quit my job or I have to sit there and come out of pocket more to sit there and have my child taken care of somewhere else. And therefore, I have less money to take care of my children. You see how all of this is tiered, how all this goes? That by discriminating against your child, then it also filters over and it's a form of discrimination against you because these entire programs are not meant to sit there and you know, provide some kind of additional, some of them are geared that way. If this is Alphabest and it's geared toward helping kids, you know, with behavioral issues, but it's still an after school program that is intended for working parents. It may serve multiple focuses, but that's the intent. So therefore, denying your child equal access to participate because they don't have sufficient resources, then at that point, yes, it's discriminatory because what creates equal access? Equal access is connected to the ability to provide those resources. And by their own acknowledgement, they said, oh, if he has the necessary support, he's fine, just like every other kid. He's successful. You see where that is? They have lowered the bar where the bar should be here. This is equal access. They're saying they can't provide it because they don't have something. And that's not your fault. It's not your child's fault. Okay? That's like saying, well, you know, if we had enough people to sit there and help this child in the building, you know, with a wheelchair, I mean, he'd be great. He'd be able to participate in everything. But we can't have somebody here to lift him over the steps. Well, you know what the solution to that is? It's equal access. That means you have to put a ramp in. So you see, sometimes these fixes cost money. Sometimes equal access requires additional resources in order for your child to be able to achieve that. And so that is the answer. It's more of an ADA 504 issue, but it absolutely is discrimination, to the point where I think that there's cause to sit there and for many parents to claim damages. I'm talking about financial damages as a result of discriminating against your child. Because remember, the purpose of these aftercare programs is to help parents.